Hi, it's Mitch from PickDawgz.com. Monday, June the 10th, 2024. Here with your first 5 innings picks for today. Of course, we cover all the first 5 innings and first halves of the major sports action. Today, just 7 Major League Baseball games, so that's what we'll cover the first 5 innings. We also do Today in History. Today in History, 2007, final episode of The Sopranos. Oh man, I don't think there's been a better TV show since. A lot of talk about other shows, and of course we all love Breaking Bad and some of these other ones, but man, Sopranos was certainly awesome. But anyways, what else is awesome? Starting a new week and kicking the books, but some more in Major League Baseball action. Let's get it all started today. First game, we go to Tampa, where the Rays continue to host the Baltimore Orioles. These teams played each other last weekend, and now they played each other this weekend, and they continue the series today. Oh man, it's got to be over here. Corbin Burnes on the mound for the Orioles. It's Ryan Pepiot on the mound for the Rays. Of course, Pepiot was involved in that Glasnow trade to the Dodgers, and he really has not paid the dividend since. But of course, we're starting to see Glasnow regress with the Dodgers, as the Rays probably figured that he would be. And Pepiot, though, has given up 3 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. Got hit for 2 in the prior. Corbin Burnes has been large and in charge in his starts. Very, very tough to go against here. And when it comes to the Orioles hitting, they are just pounding the Rays in this series, hitting 275 over their last 10 games to 231 for the Rays. You look versus the starting hand, still all Orioles in that category. 279 batting versus righties, while the Rays hitting righties, and just 198 over the last 5. This one's all Orioles, and that's my pick for this game, first 5. For our next game, we head to Minnesota, where the Twins begin their series with the Colorado Rockies. Chris Paddack on the mound for the Twins, and it's Dakota Hudson on the mound for the Rockies. Paddack has really had his share of troubles recently, allowing 7 runs last time out against the Yankees. It was 4 prior to that against the Royals, and 2 in his prior 2 to that, and then 5 as well against the Yankees. He has been hit hard and often, a 4.0 ERA through his last 5, while Hudson allowed 4 runs last time out against the Red Hot Reds team. But prior to that, really not a lot on the board for them. And when it comes to hitting, well, the Rockies hitting 243 for the season, while the Twins at 228. And over the last 10 games, 230 for the Rockies and 215 for the Twins. We look at versus righties, which is what both these pitchers are today. We look at, it's the Rockies at 240 for the season, the Twins at 220. We break it down to the last 10 games. The Twins actually slightly better over the last 10 and over the last 5. I don't care. I trust Paddack 0. I'm going to take the Rockies at the price, and that'll be my pick for the first 5. For our next game, we head to Kansas City, where the Royals are taking on the Yankees. It is Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals and Carlos Rodon on the mound for the Yankees. The Yankees salvaging a win against the Dodgers, while the Royals not able to close down the sweep against the Mariners on Sunday. But the thing is, of course, the Yankees played on Sunday night and then had to hit the road after that, while the Royals played at home in the afternoon. So much for Major League Baseball fair scheduling, but the Yankees have had a lot of these days off when other teams have had to play on these short scheduled days like we have today. Thing is that the Yankees bats without Soto in the lineup have definitely dipped off a little bit, but still, I mean, if one player is going to make that much of a difference for you, well, you probably don't have a good enough team to begin with. But the thing is, the Yankees do have a good enough team, and Rodon is pitching a lot better than he did earlier this season. Lugo has been absolutely on fire as well. I think that there's not going to be a lot of hits early, but I'll still take the Yankees in the first 5. For our next game, we head to Milwaukee, where the Brewers take on the Blue Jays. The Brewers return home from their series in Detroit, while the Blue Jays continue their road trip, heading a little bit more east. They were out in Oakland over the weekend. It's Jose Barrios on the mound for the Blue Jays and Colin Rea on the mound for the Brewers. Rea hasn't been anything special this season, that's for sure, but he certainly has stepped it up, being called upon to do so with the departure of Burnes and with Woodruff going on the injured list. In his last 3 games, he's pitched really well, including 4 innings against the Phillies, where he he didn't allow a run. Meanwhile, prior to that, he pitched 5.1 innings against the Cubs, allowing 1 run. Berríos has pitched really well this season, but the last time we saw him in Milwaukee, it's a vision that I can't get out of my head. He was absolutely bombed by the Brewers in one of those Sunday afternoon games about a year ago. And I gotta say that the Brewers, I think they probably remember it well, as Berríos probably does too. I think they just continue where they left off. I'm gonna take the Brewers in the first 5 of this game. For our next game, we head to San Diego, where the Padres are taking on the A's. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, and Sean Estes on the mound for the A's. You know, the thing is that Cease has really played against some tough teams recently, but that's part of being a major league pitcher, you know. And meanwhile, even last time out when he played the Angels, he still got hit pretty hard in that game. But it was the Rockies, the Braves, the Yankees, and the Royals all in order there. And so pretty tough company that he had to face, and certainly paid the price in all areas. We look at the A's and Estes, you know, it's like certainly a team that just doesn't have the big guns. The Padres, it's like they just when they're rolling, then we see a game like yesterday where they get just absolutely busted up. They lost the lead early in the game and never really fought back. The thing is that the Padres are the best hitting team in all of baseball, hitting 259 as a team. The A's hitting just 217, and we look at the last 10 games, and the Padres actually bringing it up to 292 to 199 for the A's. I think the Padres get the best of this one, even at this giant price. I'll take the Padres first 5. For our next game, we head to Seattle, where the Mariners return home to host the Chicago White Sox, who hit the road for after a homestand. Eric Fede on the bump for the White Sox. It's Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. Gilbert's been up and down this season, but lately it looks like he's put it together, allowing just 1 run in 2 of his last 3 starts. The other start, he allowed 4 runs against the Houston Astros. Meanwhile, Fede has been pretty strong this season, but his last 2 starts, he's been hit pretty decently, allowing 3 runs against the Cubs in 5 innings and 4 runs against the Milwaukee Brewers. Thing is, prior to that, he shut out the Baltimore Orioles, allowing just 3 hits over 6 1/3. Which Mariners are we going to get? The Mariners that hit late yesterday, or are we going to get the Mariners that couldn't get a hit late against Kansas City? Tough to tell, because when it comes to hitting, neither of these teams are really hitting the baseball all that well. It's the Mariners at 220 and the White Sox at 215 for the season. You go to the last 10 games, and it's actually the White Sox that are hitting the ball better, 226 to 218. I think the White Sox, for the odds and for my money, I'll take them in the first 5. For our final game of the card, we go to San Francisco, where the Giants are taking on the Astros. Kyle Harrison on the bump for the Giants, as Spencer Arrighetti on the mound for the Astros. Both these teams looking to get closer to 500, as the Giants just a couple games shy, and the Astros, well, a little bit more than that. But both these teams, of course, have suffered from big injuries this season that have really hindered their progress. The Astros, one of the best hitting teams in baseball, second best, 258 average. The Giants at 243. When you look at them and the way that they're hitting lefties for the Astros, 259 overall. The Giants just 240 versus righties. But you look at the last 10 games, the disparity's even bigger, as the Astros are hitting 280 versus the Giants 214. The thing is, you're getting pretty good value here on a home team that, plays pretty well in their home park. And the Astros, well, Arrighetti is definitely improving, but I still don't think he's ready. I'm going to take the Giants in the first 5 as my pick for this one. That wraps up today's first 5 innings picks. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Full Major League Baseball card, and the NBA Finals resume on Wednesday, and we'll have a first half pick in that one, as we've nailed both first halves so far in this series. But anyways, of course, if you're looking for my best bets, you can get those at PickDawgz.com under the Premium Picks tab, along with best bets from the world's best handicappers. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. I've also got a link in the description. Also have a link in the description to get some cool merch like the stuff that I'm wearing. We also have a merch tab over at the website as well that you can use. But use those links and jump on board. But anyways, thanks everyone for joining me. This is Mitch. I'll see you tomorrow with more first 5 innings picks.